It's the final percent. The final percent.
All right, we're back with another episode of the Final Percent podcast with Greg Kimble, and today I think we should talk about happiness as it relates to perspective. And one of the things that I think is really important that we are learning, actively learning, or actively maybe being taught by the world, however you want to look at it, is that when you try to identify when you are the most happy, are those same things making you happy? And what I mean by this is we're getting the bars taken away from us. We're getting all of these things taken away, or we're getting strict guidelines of how to go out and how not to go out, and social distancing and all of these things. So to all of the people, when you would go out and you'd have these social releases, if you will, what makes you happy now? And it begs the question, what is happiness? And I think it relates more to what is joy. Joy is a little different than happiness, but it's very, very important because most people forget about the joy in their life. And so I started this exercise with some of my clients, and I asked them, I challenged them to go back, and I invite you to do the same thing right now. I want you to go back to your earliest memory of you just being so unbelievably happy. Now, some people could say that this was trick-or-treating, this was Christmas, this was maybe they went down the path of a loved one. And I'm not specifically talking about loss, because some people will try to go towards people in their past that are no longer with us today. What I'm talking about is pure joy. So for me, I'm going to give you what my pure joy moment was. My pure joy moment was when I was little. I come from, I guess the politically correct way to put it is extremely humble beginnings. And with that being said, my pure joy moment was when my family ordered pizza from Domino's. And it would happen, maybe once every other month or so. But when it happened, it was literally a monumentous occasion in my life, because we'd usually try to get, mediums, and everyone would get their own. And I'm going, wait, you're telling me that I can put whatever I want on my own pizza and I don't have to share it? This is unbelievable. So for small kids, that is the source of their entire happiness. But coupling that with the fact, and there's a very vivid memory, I got this pizza and my family sat around together and we watched the movie Independence Day. And I still remember me with my Legos out in front of the movie, or our TV. We put a videotape in our VCR to watch Independence Day. And I remember my Legos were out. I had my pizza, and my mom and dad were behind me. And I literally remembered that that is pure joy. I had my family. We were all together. We were connected. And, it cost maybe all together $15-20 for some pizza that brought us all together. And I'm going to say something that may be a little controversial. When I bought my first house, when I got married, I wasn't any happier than that moment. I reached the same level, but I wasn't any happier. And that's when I realized that true happiness is something that I think is very, misunderstood. And I think we're able to have this lesson taught to us because we are going to get back to what pure joy is in these times, because I'm connecting with more people now than I ever have. I'm doing Zoom calls and finding out about people, taking new leaps in my life, developing new concepts that I think could help not just me and my company, but other people. And I'm going to remember this time forever. Is it challenging? Sure. But I think this is what we need to tie everything together is happiness truly is a choice. You choose to be mad. That's why mindset, if you think about it, mindset is so important. No matter who you're listening to, whether the opposite ends of the spectrum, whether you listen to Grant Cardone or Dave Ramsey. Grant Cardone is leverage everything, spend everything, and Dave Ramsey is don't leverage anything, zero debt, don't do anything. And I think the answer to the question is they're both right, because it's all about perspective and depending on your mindset, because there's been times where I've listened to Grant Cardone and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm fired up, let's go. Like, this is exactly what I need. And then there's been times where I've listened to one of my favorite books of all time is EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. And I listen to that and I'm like, oh my God, he's so right. And I get fired up just as much by that. And so the thing is mindset is the most important thing. If you are, two balls to the wall and you take too many risks, you know what? You do need someone more like Dave Ramsey. If you need just help to get off your butt and do anything, you need someone like Grant Cardone. So mindset is everything, and everybody is going to be a little bit different, but it doesn't change the fact that you choose your mindset. You choose what you focus on. You choose your attitude. And I know that we've all heard that attitude equals altitude. Well, you know what? That's never been more true than right now, because we need to lift each other up. And I've said this, I think this is my 4th podcast that I'm going to put out in a row. But we need to lift each other up. There's that old thing that happens in churches where they'll turn out all the lights and there's one candle and everyone's holding candles. And this person lights the candle, the person next to him lights the candle, the person next to him lights the candle, the person next to him. Pretty soon the whole congregation's lit up, the lights are still out, but everyone can see. But check this out, that first person's candle is still burning. That first person's candle is no dimmer because they chose to light someone else's. Now, right now, we are spreading so much judgment. Right now, we are spreading so much, interesting things. Especially, just watch any one of the news. I don't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican. You can pick CNN or Fox. Doesn't matter. It's fear-mongering, and we need to pull out of this cycle. And let's start spreading all of the great things that are happening. Let's start spreading all the things about how pollution's going down. Everyone's spending, and there's people in China who are seeing mountains that have never seen mountains before. Let's talk about that. That should be a headline. Let's go. We need to spread courage. We need to spread compassion. We need to spread compassion. We need to spread love. The only thing that's spreading faster than this virus is judgment. And I think we can do better. We can do better because what's actually happening in the communities is pretty special. We're connecting to humanity again. And I challenge everybody right now, hey, look, choose to be happy. Choose to not listen to negative crap. Choose to believe that you're going to be okay. Choose to go make a difference in someone's day. Choose to find pure joy. And if you really want to know what pure joy is to you, look back to when you were a little kid. Go have a conversation with that person. Have a conversation with little you in pure joy mode. And ask little you, are you happy with who I am? And if the answer is no, then all you have to do to get back to the roots of who you are down at the core of your being is go find joy. And joy probably looks a lot different than you realize. Joy is probably a lot different than you want to admit, because you might think that joy is having a corner office and a fancy car and this, that, and the other, but most of the time that is not true. Pure joy is to be appreciated, to be understood, to be loved, and really connect with humanity. We have that opportunity now. So choose to be happy. Choose to try to understand somebody. And go connect with little you. That's the exercise for today. Go connect with little you. Have a conversation and in whatever pure joy moment. Like I said, mine was Domino's Pizza. Go connect with little you and just ask them, hey, are you happy with who you've become? And if they say no, all you have to do, it's not that you have to make these life-changing, sweeping decisions, all this stuff. No, just go find joy. That's it. Joy is why we are on planet Earth. And right now there's a lot of people who are scared. So I invite you to show somebody today what pure joy looks like. I'm not saying go make them joyful because that's on them. It comes from inside. Just show them what pure joy looks like. Tell them your joyful story. Be joyful. And I guarantee you a little bit of joy is going to rub off. So thank you so much. This has been the Final Percent Podcast with Greg Kimble, and I will see you tomorrow.
Final percent.